Welcome to the sway world where peace is temporary and bad decisions are forever. If you're new here, hey girl, hey. My name is Maripanyane, but you can call me Sway or you can call me Mari, but I prefer you call me Sway, okay? If you're a returning subscriber, hey Sway, how have you been, girl? I am so glad that you've been okay since I've been away. I've been away for a pretty long time. I don't know, it was like 2 or 3 weeks. I've been away, okay? I've been away. Okay, I wasn't really going through anything. I was just sick, y'all. I had a flare up, okay, and I really don't want to get into that because I don't know. I just don't want to say it. Like, yeah, so like I have not been well. Okay, I think after the last time I posted, probably like 2 or 3 days later, I felt sick, and sick to the point that I had no energy, I had no appetite or whatever, and it was just bad, okay? But I'm back and I'm better. I'm not like 100%, but I have some energy, and I thought, you know what, let me not slack on my social medias because really I want to make bread of this thing, and I really love my sways, I love my subscribers, and I love my other followers on my other platforms. So I really need to keep pushing content. Obviously on the other contents like TikTok and Instagram, I have been posting because those are the easiest. YouTube requires time, effort, and energy, and it also requires editing. So that's why I tell y'all, if you don't find me here, follow me on my other platforms. Y'all don't listen. Anyways, let's not talk. I did not call you here to talk about my sob stories or the bad things that are happening in my life. I called you so I can tell you a story time of this grandma that I loved real bad, real bad, and my mom didn't want me hanging out with this particular grandma, and I just thought that she was sad or whatever, and I would go to her without my mom's knowledge, or like my mom saying yes, I can go there, because she would tell me I'm not allowed to go there, and I would escape and go there because I thought that the world needs better people. The world, how dumb we are as kids. We would just want to be kind to everybody. We just want to love everybody. We just want to make everybody happy, until you realize, and you grow up and realize that the world is not necessarily a cruel place. The people in the world are the cruel people. Yeah. So let me tell you guys a story time of this grandmother that I thought was sad, lonely, and miserable, only to find out that she wanted to recruit me into her witchcraft gang as her servant. Worse. Hi. Anyways, make sure you like, comment throughout the video so that I know your thoughts. And also, if you love me and want to see more of my face, subscribe. Also follow me on my other social media platforms, Maripanyane on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and also YouTube, so that you don't miss out on me when I'm not on YouTube. Anyways, let's get into the story time. Yeah. So this had to be around the time that I was like 7 or 8 years old, right? So one time my grandmother is sitting with her other friend and sitting with my mother, and they're all talking and I'm sitting with them. I wasn't necessarily sitting next with them, sorry, I was eavesdropping. So I'm standing next to the wall, and this particular grandmother, we're gonna call her grandma Juice Bottle, okay? So grandma Juice Bottle is passing, and my grandma and her friend and my mom are talking about it, like, oh, she's so sad, like she just doesn't have anybody, like what, like they're just saying all these sad things. And in my little brain, in my small 7 or 8-year-old brain, I'm like, dang, like that's so sad, like I should go visit her because I have nothing else to do. Mind you, I have a cousin that stays in the villages as well, but at that particular time, I don't remember where the hell this boy was. Okay, I think he had soccer practice, because yeah, I think he had soccer I don't remember. So I'm like, dang, like I could spend my time with this lady because she's so bored. So you know what I do? I just devise a plan on how I'm going to greet this grandmother every day, and then one day just go to her house and be like, hey, I'm here to visit you, Yeah. Fast forward later on that day, I think it was around 3-4 p.m. The sun was still up. It was the peak of heat in summer. So I grab my clothes, and I think I wanted to go bath or whatever. I really don't remember, but these details are not important, okay? So I grab whatever and I think I'm gonna go bath or whatever. And my grandma's like, come here. She gives me this bag of maize meal and she tells me like, take this to grandma, juice bottle. I'm like, yes, jackpot. This is my way of going to penetrate the relationship and be kind to her and just be friends with her. Okay, just be a grandchild, maybe, you know, because she doesn't have anyone. Sana, I take this maize meal that my grandma gave me and she tells me to go there and tell her this, and that. And I take it and I knock on her door and she's sitting inside the house. You know, you can tell she's bored. And I'm like, hi, grandma. My grandma told me to come bring, I bring this to you. I said, oh, thank you, man. You know, like I was waiting for this, whatever. And then she asked me, guys, she's like, do you know how to cook maize meal? I said no. I mean, she's like, do you know how to cook pap? And I said no. And she's like, let me teach you. And from there on, it was fireworks. From there on, it was just litty. It was just nice, you know. So she's there. She's teaching me how to make maize meal, and we are talking. We're having so much fun. She's such a nice grandma. You know, guys, when it comes to kids, one thing I realized is that bad kids fall into bad things simply because they are seeking a certain thing. So if, for example, you are not used to getting attention at home, me, for example, like I never had anyone that would teach me things. Like I would ask my mom, like, how do I do this? And she would just dismiss me, like, I don't know, figure it out or something like that, you know. Say, for example, a boy child, he wants attention, like he wants to have someone to talk to all the time. Unfortunately, he finds solace in a friend that does drugs. Obviously, that friend is going to drag them into drugs, and that friend is giving them what they're not getting at home. Even though that friend is destroying their life, they don't realize it because they lack that one thing, and the parent obviously doesn't give them that. The more the parent tries to pull them out, is the more that they're going to go to the friend, because the parent is not necessarily fixing the root of the problem. They are just trying to fix the child because they're looking at surface level. Does that make sense? So that's why every single time my mom would tell me not to go to grandma juice bottle, I'd tell her I wouldn't show her, but like I wouldn't like say do it to her face, but like whenever she looks like away, I'd be like, I'm not doing that, you know. To the point where my mom would tell my granddad, like, watch this little naughty ass kid, like just make sure she doesn't go anywhere. Well, for that day, she's like, I'm not allowed to go outside. So my granddad would watch me and watch me and watch me like a hawk. When he stands up, he expects me to stand up and walk with him wherever he's going. If he's going to watch TV, he's going to saw logs or whatever, I have to walk with him because they don't trust me, right? So my granddad would literally go, take his eyes off me for a second, and I'd act like I was going to drink water, and then I go around the house, I leave, I go to grandma juice bottle. Like, I love this grandma, you guys don't understand. So this one day, guys, I decide, man, no, I'm bored today. Like, I am extremely bored. And you know, sometimes my mom would hit me for going to grandma juice bottle, by the way. So this one day I decided that I'm bored, like I'm gonna go either way. So I pack my strength and I bath and I tell my mom that I'm going to the shop, I'm coming back. And then I go to grandma juice bottle. When I get to grandma juice bottle, when I tell you I get to this, oh God, I get to this lady's house and we start watching TV. Honestly speaking, I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I remember going inside the gate and then going inside the house. But I just don't remember like what happened afterwards, because all of a sudden grandma juice bottle's like, do you want to see magic? And obviously I'm a kid, I'm like, yeah, I want to see magic. What do you want to show me? Because she's used to showing me cool stuff. I'm like, yeah, I want to see magic. She's like, okay, we're sitting on the couch. This is the couch, that's the TV, obviously, and then here there's like between the wall and the couch there's like space, and I'd never like peeked between that space because I never thought to do it. Like whenever we watch TV, I'd just be watching TV, or whenever we're talking, I'd just be talking, you know. Like I was not taught to be naughty at people's houses. Well, nobody teaches their kids that, but it's because if you're naughty at somebody's house and they tell your mom that you are bad, your mom's gonna give you a whooping. So I would not do things like that, right? So I look through, so she goes through the thing, the space, and she grabs something. It was a clay pot, it was shut tight. She opens it and the smell. It smelled like something was rotting inside that clay pot, because I was like, what the hell? You know, but I didn't do that because it's rude to like close your nose when people try to show something and it smells like, what? I felt like vomiting in that moment. And I was like, what is that? She's like, it's something to show you magic. You know, if you know chicken livers and how they shred when you cook them, that's exactly how it looked. But in such a way that, you know, put them in a blender and then, like, it was just disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. It was just horrible. It smelled horrible. It looked horrible. It was just disgusting. I felt, just thinking about it, the smell is still here. Oh my goodness. And then she's like, she puts it in a shot glass. Obviously, I didn't know what a shot glass is at that time, right? She puts it in a shot glass and she's like, take this and you'll see magic. I say, what? So she gives me the shot glass, right? And I go like, boom. I go like the first shot. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. As much as it looked and smelled horrible, it tasted like Coke. Can you believe it? It tasted like Coke, like pure Coke. No chicken livers, nothing. And so that's why it was so easy for me to keep on going for seconds. So she gives me the first shot, right? And she's like, do you see anything? And I said, no, I don't see nothing. And she's like, are you sure? Like, do you see anything next to the TV? And I said, no, like I don't see anything. So she's like, okay. She gives me a second shot. She asks me the same question, gives me a third, gives me a fourth. She gave me so many shots until a point where I was like, I saw a man, an old guy with no eyes that was staring at us. Obviously, he has no eyes, no eyeballs, but he's staring at me. Does that make sense? Yeah. So he's staring at me. And I am shocked. I look outside at the gate. You know, almost, you know is it a sliding gate? I don't know what these are called. I don't know what this gate is called, but, you know, it's the gate on wheels. You know, obviously it has a beginning and it has an end. So on this side there was an old man, and this side there was an older lady. I don't remember what the other gender was. I'm not sure of the other gender, but there was an old lady there. She also didn't have eyes. She was naked and she was just wearing panties, if you would like to call them panties. I don't know what the hell that was. And the guy was wearing panties as well. Let's just call them panties. And the older guy. And then they had chains around their neck, but no eyes. I don't know about the time because they were not seeing anything. They were just standing there. And I was like, what the hell? So obviously she realized that I finally see the things now, because now I'm low-key kind of shocked, but I'm not scared, which was surprising because I wasn't scared. Like I was mellow, like, okay, cool. I'm seeing all of these things. All right. So I'm seeing all of these things. I'm thinking, dang, okay, cool. So I'm there and she's like, do you see it? I'm like, yeah, like what's going on? She's like, I have something more to show you. I said, oh my days, what are we about to see now? She stands up, I stand up, she holds my hand, and we're walking. Well, as we're walking, the passageway I've never seen a snake there. All of a sudden there's a snake, but this snake is how do I explain this? It's in such a way that it looks like a passage. Like the mouth is open like this. You know, almost a snake's mouth, and the eyes are all like, you get what I mean? Oh my days. But like it's open, man, in such a way that you have to walk inside, like as in through it, to get to the other side of the passage. So as she's trying to put me inside the snake, I say, hell no. So I was like, no, like I don't think I want to go inside there. Like, no, like no, I'm okay. Like I'm okay standing here. Like I've seen the magic. I'm okay. Because I wanted to cry at that point, but at the same time, it's like, who am I gonna cry to? Who am I going to scream to? Because if you know houses in the villages, they have such big yards, and you are very unlucky if it's a small house in the middle of the yard, because it's big as hell. Mind you, the next house is probably like so far that if you were to scream, I don't think the other person would hear you. Mind you, I'm a kid and I have a little ass voice. Yo. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go inside that snake. There's no going back. There's no running, first of all. So I'm like, okay, cool. I walk inside, I'm holding this lady's hand, and I'm like, you know what, she can't harm me. Like, she's not gonna harm me, bruh. Like, do you think she could harm me? I don't think so. So I walk inside the snake with her, and you know, the snake's inside is like a pink, you know, you know how you would expect the inside of something like an animal, not an animal per se, but a reptile. yeah, like a reptile, like lizard or like a snake. You'd expect them to have like pink insides, if that makes sense. So we're walking. It's a really long passageway, whatever. We get to the end, and all of a sudden it's dark as hell outside. I'm like, yo, like, mind you, when we walk outside, there was a rendezvous. I've never seen this rendezvous at a house. So I'm surprised. What the hell is this? You know? So we walk outside, and I see this rendezvous. Hey, the things that we do for the extent, actually the lengths that we go to help people, and then they do us dirty. Yeah, I should have learned my lesson that day. So we walk outside, and then there's this rendezvous, like this huge ass rendezvous. I'm like, what the hell? So she's like, don't be scared, let's go. So we walk inside the rendezvous or whatever, and inside the rendezvous is people as well. People with chains, same panties that the other ones were wearing, no eyes. I don't know about the tongue. And then there's this huge bowl in the middle. And then the people are surrounding. These people are surrounding. There were lots and lots of people. But this room was slightly dim. Like, it was low-key kind of dark, so I couldn't see everybody. This grandma juice bottle tells me, go get, there's a 25-liter bucket outside. Go get it. And like, there's meat inside, go get it and come throw the meat in this bowl. I'm like, okay, cool. I go outside and I grab the bucket and I dump the bucket, the 25-liter bucket with the meat inside. The meat was eyeballs, guys. It was eyeballs, it was fingers, it was a dream. Disclaimer. It was eyeballs, it was fingers, you know, I think it was body parts. I'm not sure though, like, because it was different types of meat. You know, there could have been beef inside there. I don't know, but there were fingers and eyes, okay? So, and then as I throw these things inside of that bucket, all of a sudden, people from I don't know where, because we were in such a small rendezvous, crawl from everywhere, and they thought, oh, they were babies, guys. There were people that were around the ages of 16, 17, like boys and girls. There were people, there were ladies, there were guys that you could see that they were young, and then there were older people. Like, there were just so many people. And I was not understanding what the hell was going on there. They're just all going in, and there was this atmosphere that I felt like it was this energy of sadness. I don't know if you guys have watched like CNN and Sky News, all those news channels that report stressful situation or sad situations, like people being hungry and they're giving them food, and these people are so grateful and just feel so bad for them. That's exactly how I felt. I was like, oh my days, I wanted to cry, y'all. And I'm just looking at everybody like, what is going on here? Why are these people like trapped in here? Can't they go home? Like, what is happening? And mind you, they have chains around their necks, like, you know, those big chains that they use for those big gates, and they're loud as hell. Once it hits the ground, like, it makes a loud sound. I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? Like, I wanted to cry. Like, I felt so bad for these people. You know, I wanted to save them, but how am I going to save them? Where am I going to take them? Because I don't know these people. Like, it was a lot, okay? I'm just starting to overthink right there and there. And all of a sudden, when all of this is happening, I hear a knock. In this particular situation, I'm hearing a knock, and I'm just looking around like, where is that knock coming from? And it gets louder and louder and louder. And then I eventually open my eyes and realize that that was a dream. But yes, it was a dream, but I'm in the same position that when Grandma Juice Bottle told me that I could see magic with this particular drink. Yes, that same position I'm in. She's sitting next to me, she's watching TV, and the person that was knocking in this dream was my grandma. And she's like, hey, like, you need to go bath. And I'm just waking up, I'm sweating, guys. I am sweating bullets, like, I'm wet. It's like it rained, but it only rained on me. So I look at Grandma Juice Bottle, and she's like, oh, your grandma's here to fetch you. My grandma's like, hey, you, come bath. And she's like, why are you so wet? I'm like, I don't know, like, I was asleep, whatever. So she's just acting normal, and then she eventually is like, okay, bye, I'll see you whenever you come visit again. And my grandma exchanges words with her, like, they talk, and then bye. And as we're walking out the gate, I'm just scared. And you know what my grandma says to me? She's like, yeah, now you see exactly why we didn't want you going to that house. And I look at her, I'm like, I didn't see anything. What are you talking about? And obviously she caught me that way. Like, my grandma is someone that is a seer. So she sees sometimes she sees visions, sometimes she has dreams, but she's not necessarily a prophet or anything like that, but you know, yeah. So she tells me that she was at home and she felt the strong urge to come and get me, and she got me at the right time, and she asked me what exactly I saw, and I tell her, and she's like, this grandmother goes all around the country. I don't know how, you know, only witches know the secrets to witchcraft. And sometimes she goes all around the country and she grabs people's souls. Like, you would think that those people that you saw are only from our area. No, they're not. No, they're not. Like, no, they're not. You could find that one person that you saw is from Northern Cape, the others from Cape Town, the others from the Eastern Cape, the others from this, the other from that. These people speak different languages, but obviously my grandma says that when people are turned into zombies, they cut their tongues. So we're walking home and my grandma is telling me all of these things, and I'm like, dang. She's like, she always knew that lady is into witchcraft. And that's when she tells me, and I ask her, like, doesn't she have any family? And my grandma tells me that this lady has a son that is married or whatever and doesn't come visit. She doesn't speak to she doesn't speak to him because he literally blocked her out of his life. Like, he just doesn't want nothing to do with this lady for whatever reason. I don't know, like, she didn't necessarily get into detail as to why, but yeah, guys, I got home and my grandma bathed me with this other red substance, I think. I don't remember, but she bathed me with something. And from that day, guys, I never greeted that lady. I never spoke to her again. Every single time, like, she would be standing next to her gate, and we were walking to the shop, and she would try to talk to us. I would run. Like, I'm in a marathon with Usain Bolt. I did not want to see her. I didn't want to speak to her. Nothing. Whoever I was walking with in that moment, if they wanted to stop and speak to that lady, that's on them. If they wanted to chase after me, good for them. That's exactly how I behaved. Coward behavior, I know. But, like, after that experience, I was like, nah, you know. I was like, nah, like, I'm not going back there, because it felt so real, but at the same time, it was a dream. I don't remember what happened from the time I came inside that house. I don't remember sitting on the couch. I was like, no more. Anyways, that's the end of the story time, y'all. Make sure you like and comment, and if you like the story and would like to see more, please subscribe. If you didn't like it, you can criticize me in the comments, okay? Criticism is allowed, not mean words, not hate. Don't be hateful, don't be mean, just criticize. If you didn't like something, maybe I ran too much, it happens, you know. Yeah. And also make sure you follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, because if I'm not here, I am on there. My handle is Maripanyane, and I hope to see you again next time. Mwah. Stay safe, vibe out, we gang till the next time we meet, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. It's connected to you.